It is that time again to get ready for the next Illuvium Epoch, which is Epoch 8. Now, I want to talk about my own candidacy as I nominate myself for the Marketing Sub-Council. And I want to go over this, my thoughts and feelings, where I think I fit into this, and why I think you should definitely consider me for your vote, although I will make a special mention that all the other candidates, in particular in the Marketing Sub-Council, are really, really good candidates for the Epoch. So definitely do your own research, look at all the different candidates, and see where you might want to go. So in the Epoch past, as I was a council member at Epoch 7, I do want to mention that I really felt my element in particular with the Illuvitars alpha sale. The Illuvitars alpha sale, the Illuvitars misprints, there were some elements of it that did make me a little bit uneasy, and I wasn't quite sure if it was going to go the way we planned. And I definitely want to make sure I take this opportunity, especially in the next Epoch, to use that retrospective to better understand what went wrong and then go forward and make sure that it's even better than it was in the Epoch before. Now, although it was very successful, I feel like there were some things that maybe could have been improved a little bit. Putting a finger on it's a little bit tricky, but maybe the pricing was a little bit mispriced. The sale, many expected it to sell out in one day. I wasn't sure that was going to be the case. I honestly didn't expect us to completely sell out of mega discs. But that being said, I think the pricing should have been adjusted a little bit. And obviously, a lot of other things happened during that sale that cannot be purely pinned on like the alpha Illuvitars or anything like that. But I feel like some people's expectations weren't met, and I just want to make sure that we can go back into that and readjust it. And I actually really, really enjoyed that part of my time on the Epoch. And I felt like I actually put quite a lot of, had a lot more involvement in that part of the Epoch than some of the other components that I was involved in. So that's kind of where I'm coming with that. And I feel like that really made me want to choose the Marketing Sub-Council, if anything, right? The other thing I want to talk about is in the past Epoch is I have a much better understanding of where the true community lies in Illuvium. Now, there's lots of different communities in Illuvium. There's the YouTube community, which I obviously have a pretty good tangent on, but I'm talking about more the Illuvium channel. There's the Illuvium Twitter community, the Discord community, and then things like the Medium articles and other sorts of areas. And I feel like I have a really good grasp on all that, not just from doing my content creation, but being in this past Epoch, being in even more heavily in all these ideas and these discussions channels, and being able to better understand what people are after and not just the people in Discord. So I feel like I have kind of a really good understanding of that, and I want to push that forward into the next Epoch. Why I am suited to the role. It's a really good one. So I've built many lasting connections in the space, and many of you might not actually know about this, but I frequently talk about potential partnerships with Illuvium and refer other Web3 developers to TSG in the most part to form these deeper connections with Illuvium. I do vet them a little bit myself and make sure they're just not some bullshit. I don't want to forward that onto TSG, but we have a pretty good working relationship in how that sort of system functions and how I can best help him when pushing forward those Web3 developers, creators, whatever, to the Illuvium platform. The other thing is I've also done a lot of AMAs over this past year with dozens of different projects to discuss the potential of Illuvium. These AMAs aren't with Scoriox. They usually want to they like getting my hot takes on Illuvium, and I just do the best I can. And whether it be Twitter spaces, in Discord game nights, or even YouTube interviews and so on. Some noticeable examples include an AMA I've done with Crypto Rain, and I pretty consistently talk to him as well. He has a really good grasp on the general crypto space and quite a different audience to Illuvium. Alpha Origins, which is quite a large guild that focuses on a variety of different games, but they're very, very fond of Illuvium. So I've done some game nights with them, as well as some mastermind Twitter spaces with a few of my friends over at Party Finance and a bunch of other different projects and things like that as well. And I think TSG has even gone on that as well. So I really love getting involved with all these different people, and I'll be pushing to do that even more if I'm elected for the Marketing Sub-Council. So that's all great exposure for Illuvium. So the last thing I want to talk about is my priorities for the next Epoch, okay? So making sure that marketing is focused towards the gamers that truly matter in the short term, while also maintaining the long-term potential, is really, really important to me. There have been many people discussing the potential for extra free-to-play options in gaming and things like that, and I definitely think that's not the right way to approach this. I think we have a dedicated community, a dedicated fan base, and there are lots of people that are watching Illuvium or watching this space, and making sure that we focus on those crypto natives first, because they're going to be the only ones playing this in the short term, whether you like it or not. Focusing on them is going to be very, very important, and keeping that consistent through our marketing messaging is going to be crucial to getting that initial player base, but also making sure it doesn't alienate those gamers that don't really care about crypto. In reality, I think crypto is going to be abstracted so much that it won't actually matter in the slightest. eventually people won't be able to see the blockchain, so to speak. But that being said, it's definitely worth it keeping them in mind. The next thing I want to talk about is making sure we get the most out of beta launches and other major events. So we've done pretty decently with some of the past events. Illuvium Beyond had some decent marketing. I feel like the land sale is probably the best marketing we've had to date on a different event. And you can see that in the numbers, right? There's no shocker there. So making sure that we have the best possible setup for these different sorts of things, especially really maintaining that Twitter upcoming to a different beta launch and making sure that you push out all the creators and get as many events and different things happening using the marketing budget is going to be really, really crucial to making sure these next betas are a success, especially for the next overworld coming up. And then we've got things like PvP, the next waves of Illuvium Beyond and so on. I want to make sure that we're in the best possible position to be pushing those events because that's where all the new people are coming into the community, and then keeping them and holding that retention is going to be really important. So the next thing is ensuring that future Illuvitar sales really hit the nail on the head. Now, I feel like we're already having internal discussions. We're doing a lot of retrospective, not just us in the council, but obviously lots of different people in the community. And there's been some really awesome ideas for different ways to do the alpha sales, for example. And I really want to be pushing that and making sure that we adjust those things so that they better suit our community and they better suit the market that we're currently targeting, right? So we only have 7,000 holders or whatever of Illuvitars, and we expected much more, but we do want to make sure that we keep those 7,000 holders around and we're really paying some attention to them with our next sales, and things like alphas need to be restructured a bit, even if it's just a price decrease, they've got to be reconsidered. So yeah, that's my nomination for Epoch 8. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something about me and my nomination, but again, don't forget to go check out all the other candidates for all of the other sub-councils. If you guys want to see another video, kind of my thoughts on some of the other sub-council members, I mean, I love them all really, so it's going to be really, really difficult. Just let me know down below if you think that you'd find that helpful. Obviously, I'll be really honest and really true. I've got nothing else I really want to say about that. Yeah. So have a good day, guys.